Thank you so much, Miss Menas. As you all know, she is the founder and CEO at Techie Squad IT Infrastructure. Next, ladies and gentlemen, please help me extend a warm welcome to Miss Kamalika Poddar, founding member of Data and Product at LXME. Can we have a big round of applause too for our next wonderful speaker here to the front?
Standing here today in front of all of you and talking about a topic this powerful about women in fintech and women in leadership, I feel like a total and absolute fraud. I mean, everything that I've done, everything that I've achieved so far has just been a series of being at the right place at the right time. Whereas when I think of people back home in India, there are women who are struggling with the most basic things. The right to lead a life of dignity, doing the things that they want and they aspire to do. Every month, we see the news of another woman, a bright young woman, being grotesquely raped and murdered. And here I am, simply a consequence of being super lucky to have been born into a family that really supports me and is like my biggest critique in making sure I'm able to grow in my career. Lucky because I volunteered for 2 projects that nobody at that point in time thought would come much out of back then. And they are what we know as UPI and open finance today in India. So really, why am I here? What did I do to deserve this? Why me? But my personal emotions aside, I think I would, in the next 3 minutes, try and share 3 things with you that I wish I knew a little early on in my career. I think 12 years ago, it would have probably helped me a lot more. Starting first with, and this is going to be very polarizing, but politics. Because let's face it, I mean, if someone is telling you our organization does not have any politics, they're probably trying to gaslight you a little bit. Because in my mind, I know that, it's a leadership talk. You should not really be talking about politics. Ooh, what is she doing? But really, if you think culture is the heart and soul of an organization, then politics is the brain. And can you think of any growing organism that has one but not the other? No, right? As a woman, I think it's a lot more important to understand the nuances of politics because, unfortunately, it is slightly easier to gaslight a woman than it is a man. And in my career, what I have unfortunately witnessed is you'd assume that, oh, I'm going to have like my own girl gang and we're all going to be like, each other's support system. That may not always be true. And it's very important. And there have been so many times when I've gone back thinking that, what am I doing wrong? Am I not a nice person? Maybe I'm just not that good enough. But if you're thinking that, that's exactly when you have to stop. Because you don't know her story. Maybe, just maybe, she has a very demanding marriage, a child whose homework needs to be completed every evening, ailing parents and in-laws that she has to be responsible for, and she envies you for having that single track focus on furthering your career. In such cases, I think the best way to kind of deal with this is to make sure that you make her, at least you make her feel like she's your closest confidant and ally. Politics. The second thing that I have learned in my career is that when you make it to, you get a seat on the table, it's quite possible that you are the only lady in the table. And you know what happens with minority voices, right? They always get subdued a little. So it's easy to kind of be like, oh, no one's listening to me in any ways. I'm not going to be adding value, so might as well just not talk. No, that's the mistake you're making right there. Because keep talking, and trust me, there will at least be one man in that entire table who's smart enough to identify what you're talking about and be like, hold on, guys, let's listen to her, because I think she's really onto something over here. And that brings me to the third lesson that I've learned, and this was something that I learned from the best manager I will ever have, Himang Dattani back at PayU, who said that you have great ideas, Kamalika, but who's going to sponsor this for you in the company? Sponsor? What do you mean by sponsor? So that's when I realized it's not just important having an idea. as much as it to figure out who is this product or who is this project going to impact the most? Whose life is it going to make 10x, 20x better? And if you can find that person and make them your sponsor, trust me, they're going to move heaven and earth within the organization to make sure you have all the resources to succeed. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, that is my time here. I'm Kamalika Poddar, your friendly fintech chronicler signing out. I will definitely be hanging out, and I would love to catch up with you and exchange stories. Thank you.